All right. We all know not all hospitals are created equal and not all health insurance either. Next up, we have an expert with both health and Medicare in 45 states based out of Texas. Please welcome to the stage, Rebecca Davis.
Hey, mega success. The last time I was told I had 7 minutes, I was in high school and there was a closet involved. My name's Rebecca. As he stated, I'm the owner of Cannonball Insurance, which is named after my son, Cannon, and that's a whole nother story because he's the whole reason why I'm in the health insurance business. But today I want to take you on a ride. I want everybody in this room, if you would, please close your eyes. Imagine yourself, 23 years old, the height of your young time. You look fabulous. You get a phone call from your mom saying she needs you to come get her in town. So you jump in your metallic green Ford Mustang and you head to town. You got your favorite music playing. You listening to your music. Do you hear it? You got your favorite music playing and it's 7 a.m. and it's September in Texas and you're sweltering. So of course you look down to adjust your AC. And when you look up, you're veering off the road and you're headed towards a ditch and a culvert in a little green Ford Mustang. So you do what naturally any 23-year-old's going to do, and you're going to correct your car back onto the road. Well, you overcorrect because you're not a driving machine. You're 23, and you end up spinning that car out all the way across the road into another embankment, where then it sends you into a flip, where you're flipping end over end over end over end 9 times. In the middle of that, your seat breaks. You get sucked out from underneath your seatbelt. You get ejected out the back window into a barbed wire fence and a fire ant hill, where you land and reawake. And you go to lift yourself up, and you can't. You can't move. The ambulance and crew get there, Life Flight gets there, and they immediately send you to the local Metroplex hospital because you're a country girl and you live in a small town, not equipped for this. So you're in the ER for 16 hours on a table because they're trying to figure out what to do with you. All the while, as a 23-year-old girl who grows up on a ranch that shows cutting horses for a living, is supposed to leave for Vegas in 2 days for a huge event. And every time she wakes up on the table, she's talking to the doctors. And the doctor's like, you may never walk again, let alone ride a horse again. So after a week in ICU, I actually did walk out of the emergency room. I broke everything from here to here, including my C2 vertebrae, which is the same vertebrae Christopher Reeves broke. So at 23 years old, my catchphrase was, I was stronger than Superman. But I walked out of that hospital in $1 million in hospital debt. I was insured. I come from a family that believes in insurance. But I wasn't insured properly. I was sold a policy that was not proper coverage. I ended up having to file bankruptcy at 23 years of age because of $1 million in hospital debt, and 3 lawyers looked at it and couldn't do anything about it. The type of insurance you have on yourself matters. Not all policies are created equal. And I guarantee everybody in this room would rather spend $1 million in their business than $1 million on hospital debt. Am I right? These things matter, and I have hundreds of stories. Lots have to do with the self-employed or the entrepreneur that make a decent amount of money because they think they can self-insure. I had a gentleman a few years ago, the hospital calls me. He's on a hospital bed awaiting heart transplant surgery. He's in a coma. He has no insurance. He has the money in the bank, but they won't touch him without insurance because the anti-rejection meds are so expensive, they refuse to perform the surgery unless he has insurance to cover the medications afterwards for the rest of his life. The hospital calls me. We get him insured. He's in a coma. Nobody can sign for him. He's not married. His parents are dead. He's a 45-year-old single man. I have to literally fight with the government to allow this insurance policy to go through because he's not able to sign for it because he's in a coma. We win that fight. He gets his heart transplant a week later. 3 years later, I just put him on Medicare. He is still alive because we were willing to fight for him and the government to get his insurance. So not all insurance agents are created equal either. If you want to be properly insured, you need to pair the right products with the right agents that will fight for you. There are several agents out there that are amazing people, but then there are several agents out there that'll treat you like a transaction and not properly insure you. There's Medicare, there's individual family health, there's group health, there's life insurance, key man policies. If you got a partner, put a key man policy on your people to protect your assets in your own business. There are things like cancer, specifically for cancer. Foreign travel coverage. I know we have a ton of people from other countries here. Do you know what it costs to lifeline yourself back home? You don't want that out of your bank account. You want the insurance company to pay for it. That's what they're there for. So you want to keep more of your fagoo in your pockets and let the companies carry the liability. That's the point of it. Let the carriers carry the liability for you so you don't have to. And keep the fagoo, as JT would say, home. Me and my team, we protect the things that matter most to you because at one time in my life, I've been that person on the side of the road that was not protected and thought I was. Thank you, Mega Success.
A little bit louder, let's get that energy up. Last day. But how was last night? How many people thought it was Michael Jordan? By the way, here's was Michael Jordan's answer. You can grab a seat. No matter what you do, doesn't matter how much money you offer, he turned down $7 million for one lunch lately. So even Phil said, right? And Phil said, I loved it, it was amazing, but I'll never do it again. Like, they don't need to. But it was really good. It was special, but today is going to be actually better.